Ooh, yeah. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're at Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. On in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in her house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, drop your feet, let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light, don't forget. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Don't talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word, oh yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. That's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Hey, come on in and hit that light. Oh, you're Auntie Mickey's. Yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh.
Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So glad to have you in the house today. Let me do that again. Welcome. Welcome. Happy Tuesday to y'all. I am so glad to see you guys here. Man, it's been a rough time. It's definitely been a rough time. We going through some rough changes. Every day, something new. Every day, something new. But every day above ground is what? A good day. I'd rather be above ground than below. So, let me just welcome everybody into the house today. I see my family, my kinfolk is here. Hello, Lisa Howard. Hello, Carmela. Adventurous You. Camille's in here. Dawn is in here. I'm seeing everybody. There's Barbara. Hello, Barbara. So good to see y'all. So good to see y'all. Chandra's here. Hello, Chandra. Let's see who else. Millionaire's Cove. Hello, my love. How are you? I'm going on up there's Rachel. Hello, Rachel. There's Carmela. How's it going, Carmela? I see all y'all here. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. Kick back. Get you a snack. Get you something, a little drinky drink on. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And there's my boo thing at the top of the heap. Hello, baby. How are you? So good to see y'all in the house. So I was kind of flustered. Hello, Yolanda. You done lurked in here. There's Charles. Hey, Charles. How's it going? Hey, Doodle Bird. Hello, everybody. There's my girl, Crystal. Hello, Crystal. I'm so glad to see you guys here. It warms my heart every time. Because y'all don't have to come. I mean, there's plenty other places to go that are interesting, but y'all choose to come here, and it really makes me feel good. So I was laboring over what to talk about today, honestly. And I know a lot of people are getting tired of talking about ice. Ice, 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 ice. We know. They're out of hand. But that's not the only thing that we need to be concerned about when it comes to ice. And if you saw the title, there's some people out there in these streets impersonating ICE officers. You know, and it's bad enough we got to deal with them fools out there, but now we got to deal with folks that's going out there impersonating them. It's crazy. It's crazy. You don't know who to trust. Barbara says they had a shootout at the Arizona border today. Lord have mercy. Oh, my son lives in Arizona. That just creeps me out. But yeah, Dude Bird, thugs. It's bad enough that they're thugs, but now we got thugs going out there impersonating the thugs. Make that make sense. So, wait, somebody's at my door. Hold on just a second. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna stop answering the door. Don't come to my house when it's dark outside. I'm gonna put a sign out there. I don't care who you are. Call me first. I don't like that. Apparently, Uncle Barry done told somebody to come by here and talk to me about something. I can't talk. I'm busy. Goodbye. I don't even know what the dude was here for. Anyway, getting back to my show. Oh, goodness gracious. He done threw me off. People are out here imitating ICE agents, and they're doing it to break the law. In a sense, pretty much. That's the gist of it. They out here breaking more laws than the ICE people are breaking. So what I have here, I'm going to play a video for you first. Doodoo bird. Thankfully, I live in the woods. No one comes a knocking. You know, sometimes I wish I did live in the woods. I wish I did live in the woods sometimes. But I think of them crazy movies, Jason and Michael Myers. I don't want to be out in them woods because if you scream, ain't nobody gonna hear you. Shoot, nope, nope, nope. But anyway, let me share this video with y'all. I know I'm kind of starting out fast. Let me get with the get right. And I gotta find the right one too. Okay. Now this is a ICE agent tries to pull a fast one. That's the title. That's the title of the video. However, it wasn't a real ICE agent. It wasn't a real ICE agent. Hello, the battle zone. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Y'all, hit that like button. I don't know how many likes I have, but it really helps if you guys hit the like button. YouTube will push the video into the algorithm, more people will come, the channel will grow, you know, the whole thing. Hey, Kumari. Hello, beautiful. So before I get started, let me make sure I got this thing straight. Yeah, this is a person that actually tried to impersonate an ICE agent. You got to be careful out there. These fools, they'll try anything. They'll try anything to get over on people. Too many critters. That's right. Too many critters. They are out and about. Okay. Here we go.
Look at where you set up. It's a peaceful protest, and you come like this.
Well, show me your face. Instead of wearing your panties.
Y'all ain't gonna do nothing?
Yeah.
You guys
Loser.
walked up with the gun. Y'all ain't gonna do
And what? Y'all let him walk all the way over here.
Y'all are just gonna stand here?
No threat, no nothing. This
See your
time,
face. You see my face.
you hear him. He's right. He's talking. He's threatening me, and this is nothing to him.
Tackling women.
How am I threatening you, ma'am?
I didn't say threatening. I said haggling.
Now, my first inclination would be to, okay, they normally be covering their faces. Why isn't this guy's face covered up? That would be a red flag to me right there. I'm just saying. But who suspects something like that? Somebody dressed up like an ICE agent, you know, with everything that's going on. You would think they doing the most out here, I tell y'all.
Yes.
Okay. If you give me this offer, I can take it, right? Oh, you're not gonna answer that? She gave me that offer. So, what's the answer to that?
She's half your age. She could be your daughter's age. Are you really gonna say something like that to somebody who's your daughter's age, your kid's age, your grandkid's age? Be ashamed. That's all
Why
I'm
should I
gonna
be
say.
ashamed when she gives me the offer like this?
Because
That's
you can be a
fucking
bigger man.
creepy.
Would you
You're a
You're the one
weirdo.
wearing panties
What
like
if
you
she's
say,
half
sir.
your age, you How old are you?
I'm getting the impression that he's trying to approach this young girl on a you-know-what level. And that is creepy. Man, I tell you, they out here doing the most.
Grow the up. You're playing dress up. You're not gonna do You just came here to start stuff. Leave.
No, I came to watch idiots. That's what I'm doing. You're wearing panties.
You're
Come on.
LARPing.
Take it off.
Look at what you're wearing. You've never been in the military. You're a loser. Just go. How old are you? You wasted your life.
Come at me or something?
You have nothing going on for you.
Believe me, he'll get hurt.
This is the highlight of your life. This is it. Nothing else happens after this for you. You lost. You squandered it. Your family's gone. Your kids are gone.
And
Look
that's why
at
you're
you.
standing here
This
by
is the
yourself.
highlight.
In one of the most embarrassing videos I have seen, this weirdo cosplayed as Ice on the same plane.
Yolanda, that would be red. Red. Okay. Okay, so this dude done dressed up in cosplay. And I guess he done got found out. What a creep. Okay, now this guy right here, this isn't the same guy. The first guy was impersonating an ICE agent. This guy is an ICE agent impersonating a protester. Boy, they are doing too much out here.
That's all they ask you. That's all they ask you.
He's one of us.
Okay.
He's one of us.
Okay, good.
You all right, dude?
You all right? Come on, breathe.
He's one of us.
How do we know? How do we know?
I was with him earlier.
Why you get ran out earlier?
I don't know. He's one of us.
I'm with them.
Trust me.
He's one of us
the whole time.
You kept us good.
You all right, man?
Uh-oh. Look at that. Look at that. Look who's pulling up to save one of their own. He was a plant. He was planted amongst the protesters, pretending to be a protester, when in essence he is actually an ICE agent. And they came to save his narrow ass. Look at that.
Yeah, save your Nazi. Put him in your Nazi van. Go get him some help. He needs a little bit of mental health there. Don't he? Nobody got guns. You gonna look me in the eye when you spray me? You gonna look me in the eye when you spray me?
Some online claim these are federal agents and or sheriff's officers infiltrating protests and movements in Minneapolis. Considering what we just saw, it's not hard to see that being the case.
Wow.
Still,
Do you actually work for ICE?
No, not at all.
Explain the outfit.
It's $29.99 on Amazon. I would recommend buying a small if you're my size. This one's a little too loose for my liking.
Thank you, Kumari. Thank you so much for the $1.49 super sticker. Bless your heart. Duvall, get a grip. Look at the doggone title. Jesus. Did you hear what this young man said? Amazon. So he's got clothing that looks just like theirs. He's out there perpetrating an ICE agent. Not very smart. Exactly. I mean, that's crazy.
But yeah, if you want some entertainment, wear this and go to a Home Depot in a sanctuary city like where I live right now, Washington, D.C., and you'll see all the illegals. Not all of them, but you can maybe see a lot of them start to run away, and you feel like a group fitness instructor. It's really good.
And you actually think that's funny?
I think it's hilarious. Absolutely. What's not funny is them illegally.
There you have it, everybody. one of the worst people I've seen here at CPAC, and that's saying something.
Losers like these emulate what they deep throat. As for the good liars' point, yeah, that really is saying something.
Oh my god, okay, let's go. Wait, I want to know if he's actually ice. It's so cool, bro. Are you Oh, yeah. Are you real ice? Why are you dressed as ice?
It's Halloween, no?
Kind of a defensive costume, though. Wait, do you love it or do you hate it? Yeah.
This is a really dangerous thing to do when you think about it. They're really putting themselves in a bad position. If they're doing it for fun, it's not very smart to do. Why would you put yourself in that position? You're not really able to defend yourself if something goes down. It just doesn't make sense to me. But then you've got them out there that are perpetrating to be ICE agents, and they're scanning people. These aren't actual ICE agents that are doing this. These are just regular people that are taking advantage of a bad situation.
I know that.
I'm gonna stay neutral on that one.
No, you're like dressing you did not mean you're doing
Clownish stuff. Where doing this has real life consequences. CBS Pittsburgh reported a man named William Gregory posed as an ICE agent during a home robbery. He was in custody after being knocked unconscious by a tenant.
Where are you from? Mexico? You from Mexico?
A warning tonight from authorities about people impersonating those agents.
You're going back to Mexico.
In a video shared widely on social media, a South Carolina man police have identified as Sean Michael Johnson is seen telling the Latino driver of this truck he's going to be sent back to Mexico.
No, you cannot drive, bro. You have not a license. No, you cannot.
At one point, taking the keys out of the ignition, dangling them in front of the driver, and mocking his accent.
Don't be.
Now, you know what? He lucky that dude didn't get up and mollywop him. Now, the driver probably thinks that he might be a real agent, but what if he found out that he isn't? Well, this kid is not very bright. Not very bright at all. And, you know, ICE agents already have a bad name. They're just adding to it. Jesus Christ, help them, Lord.
Speaking that pig Latin in my country, bro.
Johnson, who police say tried to report the driver for not having a license, was charged with kidnapping and impersonating a federal officer after the video circulated. Johnson could not be reached for comment. Over the weekend, Philadelphia police say 3 men wearing black T-shirts with ICE written on them impersonated federal officers to gain access to a resident hall at Temple University. Police only identifying one of them as 22-year-old Aiden Stiegelman. Last week in North Carolina, another horrifying incident when police say this man, Carl Thomas Bennett, was arrested for allegedly impersonating a law enforcement officer and sexually assaulting a woman at a Motel 6.
Lord have mercy. Now, do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about here? This dude is doing too much. Let me see if I can read these charges. Breaking, entering, terrorizing, felony possession of, you know what? COCAINE, kidnapping, second degree force, SEX offender, second degree forcible RAP, second degree force sex offender. Let's see, misdemeanor assault on a female, misdemeanor possession of rug paraphernalia, and impersonating law enforcement. Boy, this joker is stupid. Exactly, Rachel. What was he thinking? Of all people, what was he thinking? Now he going to prison. If he ain't never been to prison before, he going now. He got all kind of felony charges. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 felony charges and 3 misdemeanors. All that for, you know what? The snappy. He had to get some snappy. And now he can get it from someone inside. Except this time he gonna be the bitch. I hope.
threatening to deport her if she didn't comply. Bennett's attorney did not return NBC's request for comment.
These incidents, though, are rising.
They're searching. Somebody's searching that truck. That white truck. Look.
Yeah.
Who the hell is it? They're shining a flashlight in his face right now.
And I have used warrant press charges.
What the hell is going on?
Okay.
Look at this. They're getting searched right now.
Wow.
We got to get out and see what's going on, man. Who the hell is that guy? He's a security guard. He's got those guys detained and checking their license. Something ain't right over here.
That's crazy.
Something ain't right.
All right. Have a good night.
Who are you? Now he's calling the cops on us. Harvey Freebird. Yeah, it's Harvey Freebird. You're being live streamed right now, dumb.
Including with this man posing as a federal agent. 44-year-old Joshua Warner would be arrested at his place of residence. It's rather easy these days.
One of the things that's really a lot of you probably don't see this is people are basically dressing up as ICE agents, disguising as ICE agents, and
Disguising themselves as ICE agents. That's the last thing I want to dress up as. You ain't jumping me. But again, people are out there doing the most. They're doing whatever they can to do criminal activity, even if it is to impersonate an ICE agent. And that gives them it appears that they're operating poorly. They're doing what ICE would normally do in terms of searching and seizure and stuff like that. But these guys are out there to rob people. This is crazy. Yes, they do, Dwayne. Criminals do seize opportunities. Okay, King of the Earth. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. But thank you for your comment, sweetheart. 2 dookie balls. Oh, Rachel.
grabbing people and taking people. And you may think, how is that possible? How can you possibly do that? So I thought, I don't think it's very hard. So I went to Amazon, and here's exactly what I did. The first thing I did was order this. It cost me like $4. So now I can't be identified. Perfect for thugging people. Mask. Then I ordered this vest, $30. Mask, $4. Vest, $30. I didn't order the handcuffs, but you can get handcuffs all over ICE. So now, all over Amazon. All I have to do now, truly all I have to do now, is drive around LA in an unmarked car or anywhere there are Latinos, come screaming at them, take my handcuffs, grab them, put them in my car. Then I can do whatever the I can take their money. I can hold them for ransom. I can turn them in. I'm sure some ICE agents would pay good money knowing how scummy these people are. I am an ICE agent. This is me. I'm an ICE agent. I'm a middle-aged guy, white guy, wearing a green vest, and you can't see my face. And
okay, Bone, I just got it. I just got what you said. I'm not trying to be funny, but that was kind of clever. Bone 42,000 said ICE is doing a pretty good job. Okay, that was clever, but that's kind of cold, That it's not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. Wow.
there's nothing you can do about it. So if I capture you, you can't. I'm not showing my ID because I'm an ICE agent. ICE agents aren't showing their IDs. I don't have a warrant because ICE agents aren't showing warrants. I can break your. You can't do anything about it. No one's going to stop me. And that's what's going on right now, all over the You don't just have ICE agents grabbing people based on the color of their skin. You have people dressed up as ICE agents, pretending to be ICE agents, seeking out money, seeking out whatever. terrorizing communities.
As sports writer Jeff Pearlman shows on his TikTok page in this video. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member.
Okay, that's enough of that one. But, you know, unfortunately, we're seeing the same thing happening with actual ICE agents as well. They're just doing it with impunity. So this phenomenon is apparently on the rise, and the implications are actually very alarming. And this practice is easy to pull off as a result of ICE agents being allowed to cover their faces. They're not showing any form of ID. They don't present warrants when apprehending someone. So it's really easy for these guys to go in and pretend to be ICE agents. Okay, let me get to the next one. Let me share this next one with you. This is of a teen defending his family. And I don't know if you guys do you guys remember the little 16-year-old kid that was in the store with his father? He was being apprehended by ICE, and they had them both pinned to the ground. I saw a video. Now, see, this is where the lines are blurred. I don't know. Put a 1 in the chat if you recall the young 16-year-old Latino boy. He was 16 years old, and they chased his father into a store. Had him pinned down on the ground. They were doing the illegal chokeholds on both of them, the whole 9. They ripped the boy's shirt, because the boy ran in there behind him to, try to help his father. So the father was, of course, yelling at the ICE agents that he's a minor, that kind of thing. And the son, of course, he's going off. But come to find out, when they took that boy's phone, they took that young man's phone and didn't give it back to him. Do you know where they found that phone? Take a wild guess. I'm going to let you put it in the chat if you think you know where they found that young man's phone. Shortly after they were released and sent home. Not the father. The father was deported. But the young man, he was a citizen and went home. Just take a wild guess. Sewer or trash? Nope, Dwayne, let me tell you where they found it. At a pawn shop. Can you believe it? ICE sold it for money. Yes, Jandy. ICE sold it for money. No, they found it at a pawn shop. One of those, whoever the officer was that took his phone, went to the local pawn shop and sold it. The young man was able to recover his phone, but how else would it get there? This is crazy. This is where the lines are blurred. They didn't even say in the video. It didn't say whose name was on the ticket. I'm sure they made up a name. Wow. Sunny Day says another guy found his in a vending machine. This is ridiculous. If you're gonna be some kind of law enforcement, behave like law enforcement. This is not right. Absolutely, Edward. Edward said that sounds like selling stolen goods, which is it against the law, I'm sure. Yes, it is. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me pull up this next video for you. This involves a teen. Let's see. There we go. This is a teen who's defending his family. Nope, that's the wrong one. Nope. For some reason. Oh, wait. Maybe it is. My bad. I'm going to have to scoot this forward a little bit. I'm only going to play the audio for this because this is the Breakfast Club. This is the Breakfast Club, and I do not want to get hit with copyright.
Conversations about ICE. And one thing that folks are always concerned about with ICE is we don't know who the hell ICE is. Okay, ICE agents are masked and unidentifiable. And they are very, very easy to impersonate. Okay, they are easy to impersonate because they don't wear a single standardized uniform. They wear plain clothes. Many of them only display a badge or vest that says ICE or police. There is no consistent visual standard, okay, to compare against. Not to mention, immigration enforcement happens any and everywhere. Okay, ICE officers, they pop out in apartment complexes. Okay, work sites, the streets, courthouses, homes. It happens anywhere. I'm not going to be surprised if we see it at the Super Bowl and Bad Bunny perform, okay? All right, so they are very easy to impersonate. And one thing I have heard constantly from other humans in America is how are we supposed to know they are ICE agents? Then yesterday, an Immigration and Customs Enforcement memo obtained by the Associated Press revealed that the agency is allowing officers to forcibly enter homes to make arrests without a judicial warrant.
And that we've been hearing this for a couple weeks now. No judicial warrant is being presented. How do you tell if they're real or not? How do you tell if that's the case? They're supposed to have a judicial warrant. But as we saw previously in another video where ICE busted down the door of a daycare and they took the husband out, that piece of paper that they handed to the wife had no signature whatsoever on it. And a judge eventually did say that his rights were violated and ordered him to be released. So they're doing too much. They're doing too much.
Really? So what is that going to do? Okay, what does that do? It makes it easy for impersonators to try to take advantage of people because they was already trying to take advantage of people anyway. Okay, way before this memo leaked, it's been a lot of ICE impersonators, and that's why we are gathered here today, because William Gregory is one of those ICE impersonators. What do you mean, Uncle Shala? He's an ICE impersonator. Well, let's go to ABC4 for the report, please.
Could you imagine coming home or coming down the steps and somebody's in your home?
For residents in this Beltuver neighborhood, the fear that this family must have felt is incomprehensible.
I believe that is a Hispanic home, and our neighborhood is very diverse. And then you have somebody fraudulently acting like they want to be ICE and then come in and invade the people that make up my community.
But police say a boy inside the home fought back, protecting his family. According to court papers, when William Gregory forced his way inside the home, he, quote, came upstairs shouting that he was an ICE agent and needed to see their paperwork. The criminal complaint says Gregory then pulled out a pocket knife and threatened to stab a juvenile, quote, as he began to steal his PlayStation console and controllers.
Oh my God. This guy went in impersonating an ICE agent, pulled a knife on the kid in the house, and proceeded to steal his PlayStation. I think that's a clear indication that he ain't real. He ain't a real ICE agent at that point. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And like I said before, it's already bad enough. These cats ain't making it any better. They're making it worse.
Gregory forcibly ripped juvenile number one's cell phone out of his hands and the two began to fight. Juvenile number 1 eventually punched Gregory in the face and knocked him unconscious, which was how he was when officers arrived on scene.
I hope he beat the dog shit out of him. I really do. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, Doodoo Bird, I'll see you later, love.
William Gregory is charged with ethnic intimidation and burglary. He remains in the Allegheny County Jail.
Dropping the clues bombs for juvenile number 1. Okay, 17-year-old boy who protected his family. Okay, William Gregory came in there impersonating an ICE agent, wielding a pocket knife, trying to steal a PlayStation and the young man's cell phone. Personally, I don't think the 17-year-old was fighting for his family. I think he was squabbling for his technology. Okay, you try to take a 17-year-old's PlayStation and his cell phone? That's his soul. That's his whole reason for breathing. I promise you, William might have let you steal anything else in that house. I mean, that young man might have let William steal anything else in that house. But for his cell phone and PlayStation, he's running off fades. Okay? But back to the moral of the story. William Gregory was impersonating an ICE agent because ICE is running around looking and acting like thugs. All right. That's why it's so easy to impersonate them as well. You in plain clothes and mask, looking like every other stick-up kid and jack boy out here. How are we supposed to know you official? And you want to give them power to forcibly enter homes to make arrests without a judicial warrant? The problem with that type of power is it won't be used on just so-called criminals with warrants. It will be used on everyday citizens. Okay. This is America, people, where a lot of us believe in the Second Amendment, 2A all day. If a masked individual in plain clothes tries to forcibly enter into your home, and you have a gun, what do you think is going to happen? What if that 17-year-old had a pistol? What do you think would have happened to William Gregory? He would have got popped for that PlayStation. Okay, he would have got clapped for that cell phone. All right? Listen to all of you people sitting around thinking impersonating an ICE agent is a good idea. You think that's the way to hit a lick? You're going to die. Okay, go get a job. Go learn a trade.
Bingo. Get a job, get a trade. If you want to, matter of fact, I tell you what, since you want to be like ICE, why don't you get a job with ICE? When you think about it, if you want to act like them, why don't you get a job with them? I mean, you thugging out already. You seem to meet the criteria. Lord have mercy.
And ICE agents, y'all need something to better identify yourselves when interacting with the public. You need visible ID and credentials. You need name and agency labels. You need marked vehicles that play Ice Ice Baby when y'all roll up. Okay, y'all have to identify yourselves because you have people like William Gregory out here impersonating y'all. And when someone like William gets shot and killed, I don't want you all to say, he got shot and killed because someone thought they were ICE. No, it's because he's a masked person in plain clothes trying to break into my house. That's why he got shot. And if you're impersonating an ICE agent and you're trying to rob people, you deserve the bullet. Please give William Gregory the biggest hee-haw. And I know we live in a country where the president, Donald Trump, is saying things like, sometimes you need a dictator.
Usually they say he's a horrible dictator type person. I'm a dictator. But sometimes you need a dictator.
You know what? Here's some dictation for you. Go to hell. There's some dictatorship for you. Are you serious? But it doesn't surprise me, not coming from him. That's what he wants to be. He said he was going to do this, and now he's doing it. So why be surprised?
Yeah, I know that, ICE agents are being told they can forcibly enter your home without a warrant to make arrests. But this is still America. Democracy and institutions are being threatened in ways we've never seen, but the Constitution still matters. And the good brother Bakari Sellers, Denmark, South Carolina's own, dropping the clues bombs for Bakari Sellers. He was asked about ICE officers being able to enter homes without a judge's warrant. And is that legal? And for anybody who wants accurate information, here you go.
The fact is the Constitution still matters. The rule of law still matters. ICE isn't above the law. If ICE comes to your home, they have to have a warrant to enter your premises. We don't live in this totalitarian military run society where law enforcement can come in without probable cause, can come in without a warrant, can come in simply because of who they think you may be. I mean, we've seen instances where people were drug out of their homes naked. ICE has a problem. And unfortunately, there's no leadership from Kristi Noem. And so my goal and hope is that we start impeachment proceedings on Kristi Noem ASAP because ICE is abusing the law.
The more you know.
All right.
And I think Donald Trump is responsible for Winter Storm Fern.
You think he set that up?
Yeah, he's like, look, ICE agents aren't enough of a distraction. We need real ICE.
You think he pushed the button?
Call Harper.
Push the button.
Push
Push the button.
Wow, yes.
All right.
That's just my personal opinion, though.
Well, thank you for that donkey today. The chat want to play a game.
I don't want to play a game because I don't even know who William Gregory. I didn't see his picture. I don't know.
I think we could figure it out.
No, not really.
I don't think it
They're
was
saying,
at
they're
all.
saying the chat is saying sounds like a lot of mayonnaise. They're saying from the Caucasus Mountains.
I know y'all might think that, but I don't know that to be for
Says
sure.
sounds very milky. That's the chat is saying.
Definitely does. I sense white too.
Somebody says Betty White.
I sense Juvenile 1.
I'm not
He's black.
saying he's not. I just don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Donkey today is sponsored.
Huh. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. And oh my God, you would think they'd know better. I mean, does it even occur to them that they're putting themselves in danger? With everything going on, you would think that they would have enough sense to know that, look, man, I'm putting my behind on the line for a PlayStation. This ain't the best way to get it. You'd be better off going to the store and risk going to jail from them, because you can pretty much rest assured that if you go into a Target or a Best Buy and try to rip one off, you might get caught, but they ain't gonna kill you. They are not gonna kill you. Kumari says, man, Trump be talking about himself. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So, yeah, that team, bless his heart, he wasn't defending his family. He was defending his electronics. Oh my goodness. Yes, he was. Okay, let me pull up this next piece of information. Now, this is an article I found on Wired. And it's warning of criminals posing as ICE and urges agents to ID themselves. This is not just to, bring attention to yourself. This is to protect yourself as well, ICE. It could be used as a double-edged sword, but there may come a time where you wish you had identified yourself. So, according to this article, it says FBI warns of criminals posing as ICE and urges agents to ID themselves. In a bulletin to law enforcement agencies, the FBI said criminal impersonators are exploiting ICE's image and urged nationwide coordination to distinguish real operations from fakes. Criminals posing as U.S. immigration officers have carried out robberies, kidnappings, and sexual assaults in several states, warns a law enforcement bulletin issued last month by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Bureau urges agencies to ensure officers clearly identify themselves and to cooperate when civilians ask to verify an officer's identity, including by allowing calls to a local police precinct. Ensure law enforcement personnel adequately identify themselves during operations and cooperate with individuals who request further verification, it says. First reported by Wired, the bulletin cites 5 2005 incidents involving fake immigration officers and says criminals are using immigration and custom enforcement's heightened profile to target vulnerable communities, making it harder for Americans to distinguish between lawful officers and imposters while eroding trust in law enforcement. A review of public reporting confirms 4 of the 5 cases described in the bulletin. One appears to have gone unreported, suggesting the FBI drew in part on internal law enforcement information. The document was first obtained by the Transparency nonprofit, Property of the People. On August 7th, according to the FBI, 3 men in black vests entered a New York restaurant claiming to be ICE agents. Inside, they tied a worker's hands and pulled a garbage bag over the person's head. Another, believing the burglar's story, surrendered themselves only to be kicked to the ground and tied up as the intruders robbed an ATM. My goodness. The Bureau's advisory urges agencies at every level of government to coordinate to verify legitimate versus non-legitimate operations attributed to ICE, a call that frames the wave of impersonations as a national law enforcement concern. The FBI declined to comment. Its National Press Office said that it could only respond to media inquiries involving national security, violations of federal law, or essential public safety functions during the government shutdown. Cases cited by its advisory span kidnappings, street crime, and sexual violence. In Bay County, Florida, the advisory says a woman unzipped her jacket and revealed a shirt that said ICE and told her ex-boyfriend's wife she was there to pick her up before driving to her driving her to an apartment complex. The woman later escaped. In Brooklyn, it alleges a man told a woman he was an immigration officer and directed her to a nearby stairwell, where he punched her, tried to grape her, and stole her phone before police caught him. Wow. In Raleigh, North Carolina, it claims a man entered a motel room and threatened to deport the woman if she did not have sex with him, telling her he was a sworn officer. He showed her a business card with a badge, police said. The FBI describes a few signs of impersonation: forged or mismatched credentials, outdated protective gear, and cloned vehicle markings. It's urging agencies to launch outreach programs aimed at identifying fake ICE agents, a step the FBI argues could counteract the mistrust caused by impersonators and strengthen law enforcement's image. A senior ICE official tells Wired, anyone caught impersonating themselves as a federal immigration agent will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Impersonating a federal immigration officer endangers public safety and erodes trust in law enforcement. Federal rules require immigration officers to identify themselves and state the reason for an arrest as soon as it is practical and safe to do so. The standard has not changed since it was codified in the 1990s, yet advocates say it is increasingly ignored. The recent increased presence of armed, masked federal officers completely disrupts and erodes public trust in law enforcement, says Alicia Castillo of the Texas Civil Rights Project. Further, the increase in local cooperation with federal authorities through 287G agreements has led to a chilling effect on local law enforcement for communities, she says, referring to a program that deputizes local police to act as immigration agents. When masked federal agents conceal their identity and authority as a practice, anyone can don a mask and a gun and not be expected or required to verify their authority, she adds. The growing use of such unmarked officers has raised questions for months about accountability and transparency in federal policing. However, the Trump administration frames ICE mask use as an officer safety measure best left to the discretion of field leaders. At a recent press briefing, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said, "They wear masks at times to protect their identities from dangerous situations. The leadership teams, we leave that up to them to discern what's necessary." Okay. Interesting. DHS has argued that agents still identify themselves while masked. When our heroic law enforcement officers conduct operations, they clearly identify themselves as law enforcement while wearing masks to protect themselves from being targeted by highly sophisticated gangs like Tren Arugua and MS-13, criminal rings, murderers, and rapists, Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said in a September statement. I beg to differ. They are not identifying themselves when asked. ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons echoed the safety rationale, telling Face the Nation this summer that while he's not a proponent of masks, he would allow them if that's a tool that the men and women of ICE choose to use to protect themselves and their families. Critics say the policy blurs the line between lawful arrests and military-style force. They argue that officers who hide their faces and affiliation weaken public confidence and make it harder to tell a legitimate operation from a violent crime. Perceptions of police legitimacy are absolutely undermined when law enforcement is carried out by masked officers. But importantly, so is public safety, says Barry Friedman, faculty director of the Policing Project at NYU School of Law. Perceptions of legitimacy and public safety both require that community members trust the agencies tasked with protecting them. That's all but impossible when officers are deliberately concealing their identities from the public. The FBI advisory, prepared by the Office of Partner Engagement and the New York Field Office, echoes these concerns, saying the rise in impersonation crimes linked to the recent increase in ICE enforcement actions is further eroding trust between communities and police. In Boston, police intelligence analysts voiced the same worry nearly a year ago as the country braced for a change in power and a return to mass deportation politics. The Boston Regional Intelligence Center, or BRIC, issued a public advisory last December which Wired obtained via public record request, warning of a potential increase in scams related to news about the mass deportations from the incoming administration. The notice references an incident from Trump's first term in which 4 men in ICE apparently reportedly robbed a man on the street in Queens, demanding he pay money to avoid arrest. Scammers know the immigration process is complicated and will use confusion along with fear to take advantage of victims. A copy of the bulletin says BRIC did not respond for comment. In September, according to documents obtained via public record request, the Boston Police Department issued 2 additional advisories about scams targeting older adults. They warned that some scammers have impersonated ICE officers and other federal authorities, falsely telling people that they were facing deportation actions. seemingly as part of attempts to extort them for money. The Boston Police Department did not respond for comment. The FBI says ICE's enhanced public profile and the media coverage around it offers criminals the perfect pretext to prey on vulnerable communities. Legal experts say that images of militarized masked enforcement are not just being copied by criminals, but encouraged by policy itself. Jermaine Scott, senior counsel at the civil liberties nonprofit Electronic Privacy Information Center, says the current administration's actions have worsened the problem, weakening public confidence and inviting impersonators to borrow its authority. The Department of Homeland Security's supposed campaign against only the worst of the worst, while upstanding community members are detained or deported and people are targeted for First Amendment protected activities, undermines legitimacy. Wearing masks and snatching people off the street undermines legitimacy, Scott says. It creates the expectation of federal officers that will aggressively treat anyone as a target, and as a result, creates the conditions for impersonators to leverage this expectation to commit crimes. Federal officers must be prepared to prove who they are, he adds, and accept that public skepticism is a reasonable response, not a threat. The Boston Advisory warned of other schemes preying on immigrants, from fake visa lotteries and sham legal services to fraudulent websites harvesting personal data. Some scammers specifically target refugees with offers of special grant funds that require bank information. Immigrant right advocates say the scams thrive partly because of the official behavior. For decades, agencies like ICE and CBP have evaded meaningful oversight and operated with a culture of secrecy and abuse under both Republican and Democratic leadership, says Jeff Mazzoli of Freedom for Immigrants, an advocacy group. The increased prevalence of masked agents only compounds this culture of impunity. Impersonations of federal officers are a problem, yes, but the root of this issue is that these agencies have deservedly lost the public's trust in the first place. News reports of ICE agents frightening and threatening U.S. residents are widespread and occur almost daily. In Waltham, Massachusetts, video shows federal agents detaining an adult and leaving a 13-year-old boy standing alone on a city sidewalk. Neighborhood volunteers and local officials later helped get him home. In nearby Chelsea the same week, agents smashed an SUV window and dragged a man to the pavement in front of his family after church on Mother's Day. In Oregon, in October, footage on local news showed masked agents breaking down a bedroom door during a Gresham apartment raid, weapons drawn as a baby cries in the background. Then on Monday, ICE agents in Ontario, California, shot a U.S. citizen from behind during a traffic stop, their second Southern California shooting in a week. Lord have mercy. It's rich that the FBI thinks ICE has a PR problem in immigrant communities because of impersonators, while masked and militarized ICE agents are waging a daily campaign of terror against those very communities, says Ryan Shapiro, executive director at Property of the People. In California, lawmakers have moved to curb the practice of agents concealing their identities directly. In September, Governor Gavin Newsom signed SB 627, the so-called No Secret Police Act, which bans what the bill's author calls extreme masking during arrests or the service of warrants outside high risk or undercover situations. Supporters said the measure was prompted by public confusion over mass immigration raids and unmarked federal teams deployed in prior years. Faiza Patel, co-director of the Liberty and National Security Program at the Brennan Center for Justice, says the California measure addresses a basic matter of public trust. When a person being arrested cannot clearly identify a person as a law enforcement officer, they may fear they are being kidnapped and resist. I think that should pretty up. There's still more. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to continue, because this is I didn't realize it was this long. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to continue. Put a 2 in the chat if you want me to move on. This is pretty long. Hello, Michelle. Christopher Brown says, I've thought of impersonating to spoof the anti-ICE. If many had a convoy of fake ICE to follow around, that would help. Okay. Hello, Marlena. How are you, sweetie? Okay, I'll read a couple more and then a couple more paragraphs and then we can move on. I didn't realize it was this long. Seattle is now weighing a similar ban on face coverings. Late last month, Mayor Bruce Harrell introduced an ordinance prohibiting masks and requiring visible agency emblems. Now, I know Bruce personally. He's no longer the mayor, though. Too bad. Violators could face civil penalties of up to $5,000. The proposal likewise follows months of public concern over the appearance of masked agents. One recent ICE impersonation incident took place in Fife, Washington. That's just a few miles from me, about 30 minutes outside Seattle. Wired obtained records about the incident via a public records request. According to court documents, the incident culminated in the alleged perpetrator pleading not guilty to a second-degree criminal impersonation charge. The case remains ongoing. Hi, Mr. Phillips. According to a Fife police incident report, police were called to a Ukrainian grocery store on March 16th. A store security guard reported that a patrol-style vehicle with a decal resembling the ICE emblem had sped into the parking lot while honking its horn. When he approached the vehicle, he said he saw an occupant filming him. In a written statement, which appears to have been provided by the same security guard, a witness says that the occupant filming them made them feel extremely uncomfortable, unsafe, and threatened at their workplace. Investigators later obtained a video of the vehicle, which appears to have been taken on a mobile phone, which shows a man dressed in clothes resembling an ICE officer conducting what looks like an arrest. Hold on just a second. Police later learned that the vehicle's decal read SU Department of ICE Deliveries, where U.S. Department of Homeland Security appears on the ICE emblem. The occupant, they learned, was 27-year-old aspiring YouTuber and TikTok creator Ilya Kukar. Though his TikTok account appears to have been deleted, a screen recording from police shows Kukar formerly had 6 followers. In a TikTok shown in the screen recording, Kukar stands in front of the vehicle and says he plans to drive around and hand out bags of ice. Lord have mercy. The video abruptly transitions to a supercut of local news clips about a then unidentified ICE impersonator. He posted a nearly identical version of the same video on YouTube with the tags #prank and #gone wrong. Boy, these people play too much. 27 years old, grow up. In an Instagram DM, Kukar told Wired there was no ongoing criminal case and no alleged impersonations, with proof of who the driver was or whether anyone had acted as an ICE agent, adding that this was the reason it never got anywhere. A court document obtained by Wired says that the city agreed to dismiss the charges if Kukar agreed to 9 hours of community service or a $150 fine. That's on top of a mandatory 40 hours of community service, a letter of apology to the grocery store targeted by the stunt, and a promise to never return to the market's property. Lord have mercy. Several days after the initial report, a local police officer and 2 agents with Homeland Security investigations interviewed Kukar, who told investigators that he was filming a YouTube video and that things got blown out of proportion like crazy, according to body camera footage reviewed by Wired. When the Fife police officer notified Kukar that he was being recorded, he responded, "It's all allegedly." He went on to repeatedly interrupt the investigators and insist that they hedge questions with the word allegedly. Lord Jesus, this idiot. Good grief. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm sorry that was so long, but there was a lot of information that needed to be heard. Steady Rose says, "We're at war, guys. Remember that. Anyone who supports fraud and illegal alien organized crime and fights rule of law is your enemy." Let's see. Michelle says, "Did you get a chance to look at what I commented about on live replay?" No, I didn't, Michelle. I didn't see that. I'll check it out later. Who be, oh be, oh be. I have a letter. I have a letter here that I want to share with you. I don't know if you guys even want to hear all this now. But it's Brownlee, Democratic Women's Caucus, urge ICE to require clear agent identification, crack down on dangerous impersonators targeting women, because apparently that's happening a lot. A lot of impersonators are going out there and they're going after women. They're going out there to violate them. So I will briefly share this with you. And let me move this up. Brownlee Democratic Women's Caucus urge ICE to require clear agent identification, crack down on dangerous impersonators targeting women. Washington, D.C. today, Congresswoman, and this is back in August 11, 2025. Washington, D.C. today, Congresswoman Julia Brownlee, California, joined her Democratic Women's Caucus colleagues in a letter to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, expressing deep concerns over ICE impersonators harassing and assaulting women. The members called for ICE to require agents to wear visible, clear identification during enforcement activities and to ensure impersonators are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. In the letter, members raised grave concerns about women being assaulted by individuals impersonating ICE agents, taking advantage of the agency's increased use of masks, plain clothes, and unmarked vehicles, Lack of uniformity makes impersonating ICE and counterfeit ICE gear more accessible. ICE lacks specific regulations on dress, unlike local police officers who are required to have distinguishable forms of identification. And basically what this is saying is that this is not just about we have a right to know who's who's behind the mask. It's not just about the right. It's about protection for these other guys that are out here impersonating ICE agents. ICE should be protecting themselves as well as the public. Now we know what's going on, but this is a new aspect to what's going on with ICE. ICE is being infiltrated, not internally, but externally, and using their mannerisms and whatnot, the way they dress, the way they conduct themselves. They're using that very behavior, that very look to commit crimes. So there needs to be some kind of a revamp on how ICE not only does their job, but how they even present themselves. Starting with identification. Now I won't go through that whole thing. However, this is something that you guys might want to read. And I will share this. This is a notification from the DISB. Just a second here. This is a notification of an ICE agent imposter scam. The District of Columbia, I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. This just went haywire. The District of Columbia Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking warns the district's immigrant community to be on the alert for con artists pretending to be agents of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, or local police. The scam. This is the scam here. An immigrant gets a telephone call from someone pretending to be an ICE agent. The agent informs the victim that he or she has violated immigration laws and is in immediate danger of arrest and deportation. In a threatening tone, the agent scares the immigrant victim into revealing their date of birth, social security number, credit card number, and other personally identifiable information. The scammer tells the victim that the only way to avoid arrest and deportation is by paying thousands of dollars in immigration fees and fines. Con artists will often call from a phone that will appear on caller ID as an official ICE number. They can even use the official ICE website to convince their victims of their authenticity. While the ICE agent impersonator is on the phone with the victim, another scammer pretending to be a local police officer will call the victim using a fake telephone number that looks like a police number. The police impersonator states in a very intimidating manner that an arrest warrant has been issued and that officers are on their way to place the victim under arrest. Jesus. Sometimes the recorded sound of police sirens can be heard in the background. Boy, I tell you, if that is not clever. The fake police officer proceeds to tell the victim to cooperate and pay whatever amount the fake ICE agent is requesting. Only by paying ICE can the victim avoid immediate arrest and deportation. The panicked victim is instructed to navigate to the local or to the official ICE website and read the immigration bond form. An immigration bond is commonly used to help release a non-citizen from ICE custody pending their deportation hearing. At this point, the fake ICE agent demands that the victim pay $3,999 or some other amount to stop the investigation and vacate the arrest warrant. The terrified victim complies by sending the money to the scammers, which is then lost and not recoverable. Golly. This is crazy. Remember, ICE agents and local police do not call immigrants on the phone to warn them that they are about to be arrested and deported for violating immigration laws. Agents do not request financial information, bank account and credit card account information, or demand money from someone to dismiss an investigation or vacate an arrest warrant. You can report suspected ICE agent fraud to the Department of Homeland Security Office of Inspector General at 1-800-323-8603 and police officer impersonation to the Metropolitan Police Department Financial Crimes and Fraud Unit at area code 202-727-4159. You may also contact DISB's Enforcement and Consumer Protection Division at area code 202-727-8000. Learn how to avoid other scams by visiting disb.dc.gov/page/consumer-scams. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is crazy as hell. Well, again, I do have a video that I want to share with you on how to spot someone that may be scamming. And after this video, now I do have a letter from the Democratic Women's Caucus, but at this point we're pretty far spent into this live. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this video, if you don't mind. It's not a very long one. How to spot someone impersonating a federal agent.
The so-called No Kings protests. Now, as a result of the actions of the Trump administration, there have been aggressive immigration raids around this country, and that has allowed the door to be open to police impersonators. We talked to Greg Dupree in Dallas about it. Let's take a look.
And joining us on The Factor Uncensored tonight, we have with us Greg Dupree with TLAC Now, former law enforcement officer and security expert. Greg, what we have seen as a result of these ICE raids and crackdowns around the country, we have seen many people who have pretended to be ICE agents, federal agents, and they've taken advantage of people who are out there, imposters, those impersonating officers. So first of all, why are we seeing this?
That's because you have individuals out there who have always been unhappy with the presence of illegal immigrants in this country. And now they're seeing an opportunity to act on their hatred, their dislike, distrust, and using that as any type of excuse to go after these people and turn them into the authorities. They might see it as, I'm assisting the authorities in this case, but they're obviously violating these people's rights because they're not authorized to act in that capacity.
And we've actually seen one man who he was caught on video stopping some individuals here in the United States, and he ended up being arrested for impersonating an officer. Just how bad is the problem out there right now as a result of what we're seeing from the Trump administration?
It's not to the point where you can say it's an epidemic, but it is a growing problem. And anytime you have people impersonating law enforcement officers, it's obvious concern. If this is something that we don't get a handle on soon enough, it's going to become a major problem. It's going to continue to grow.
Like we need any more problems out of anything ICE related. This is just going to make it even worse. We won't know who to trust. We won't know if we're really in the presence of a real ICE agent or a fraud that's looking to rip us off. Either way it goes, it's not a good look. It's not going to be a very pleasant experience.
Because you're going to have this increasing animosity and I'll say outright hatred toward illegal immigrants, and you're going to see more and more people start to act on it.
And what we've also seen, individuals who are looking to make money just to take advantage of those who may be perceived as being illegal in this company in order to scam them out of money as well.
Exactly. And the thing is, no law enforcement officer or agent is going to be asking you for money. You know, that should be one of the first red flags you see. But, you know, they're playing on these people's fears and they figure, hey, if I pay this guy, he'll leave me alone. And what you're doing is you're paying someone who's not a law enforcement officer and you're losing your money.
And so what advice would you have for individuals out there who may find themselves taken advantage of anyway? If someone approaches you saying that they're a law enforcement officer, that they're an agent of ICE, the federal government, I mean, what should be one of the first things that you do as an individual who's looking to protect themselves?
Exactly. The first thing, as I said, if they ask for money, that's a red flag right there. But the first thing you would really want to do is see if this person is acting alone. It'd be very rare, like I said, very extremely unusual for an ICE agent to be acting alone. They're going to have other ICE agents with them.
Yeah, they run in packs, don't they? I don't recall ever seeing one ICE agent by himself. They pair up or even more. So there's one indication right there. If you see an ICE agent by himself, be very leery. Be very leery. These are different ways to spot someone who may be impersonating an ICE agent.
You want to check their credentials.
Good point.
Yeah, you want to check. Look at the badge. You can go online and see what an ICE badge actually looks like. And so you can check their badge to see what their badge says by just giving it a glance. Also, if they're threatening to arrest you, they should have an administrative warrant. If that says they are authorized to arrest this person, or that they have suspicion that you're acting, that you're in this country illegally. These are the things, you have to know your rights. You should talk to an immigration attorney and say, what are the things that these ICE agents have to present if I'm contacted by them and they can arrest me?
Know your rights. That's going to be the theme of the whole year, 2026. Know your rights. Whether you're documented, undocumented, U.S. citizen, whatever. Know your rights in this country. Because daily they're trying to erode the Constitution. The Constitution is supposed to stand. And so does your rights.
They cannot come in your house generally without a judicial warrant. Because there are two types of warrants: the administrative warrant to seize a person and the judicial warrant to enter your private business or residence. So if anytime they're threatening to do these things, just ask them. Now, the bad thing is, if you're in the country if you're in this country illegally, you're already at a disadvantage. Mm-hmm. So you are in a position that you might have a hard time getting any type of cooperation out of an ICE agent because they already know you're in this country illegally, and it'll be very hard for you to distinguish between an actual ICE agent and an imposter. But just pay attention to the red flags, like I said, particularly if they're asking you for money, if they have phony credentials. ICE agents are not the type of people that are just going to run.
LS, neither. This is neither a Republican or Democrat chat. I'm sharing information.
Roughshod over your rights. As I said, if they have an administrative warrant, they should be glad to show it to you, as well as same as a judicial warrant. So you just be leery of these things that law enforcement officers normally don't do.
And we'll be back with more Factor Uncensored when we continue this conversation about immigration. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the Factor Uncensored. We're continuing our conversation about immigration. What we have seen around the country in many raids, many times, ICE.
Okay, Chow One, we get it, okay? You don't have to keep putting it in the chat. We get it. Okay, you know what? Bye. You're being annoying now. Yeah, where is the Epstein files? But still, you ain't got to flood the chat with that shit. Come on now.
Agents are wearing masks, and that has left a lot of immigrants nervous. But what happens if someone who is a police impersonator, a federal agent impersonator wearing a mask approach you? We get back to Greg Dupree.
And I would assume as a result of those who may be in this country illegally or individuals who have family members or relatives who may be in this country illegally, it may be that this case or this type of case is underreported because people don't want to go to law enforcement, get into trouble thinking they would be ultimately deported themselves, even though they're the victims of a potential crime.
That's why you need to talk to an attorney, because an immigration attorney can take on that role for you and report these type of incidents going on in certain particular neighborhoods or in parts of the city. So, you know, there are avenues, and there are advocate groups out there as well that can do the same thing. You know, if you're going to allow yourself to continue to be taken advantage of and preyed upon by these type of individuals, it's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. And as you said before, if they're out there scamming people and these guys are fairly successful at doing this, that problem is going to grow as well.
And one of those organizations here in Houston that's helping immigrants who may find it a tough time navigating through the system is FIEL, and they're operated and run by Cesar Espinosa, who's a regular guest here on the Factor Uncensored. So if you're out there and you need that kind of guidance, reach out to FIEL, FIEL. It's the acronym, and check with them for any guidance. Also, really quick before we wrap up.
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that.
Up here, we have seen as a result of these ICE raids, there may be some individuals who are federal agents who work undercover, but many of them have gone out with masks on. Does that make it that much more difficult on the public if they see someone coming with mask on or their face covering, the ski mask? You know, does that make it difficult on the public to know who to trust at this time?
Well, yes, it's going to make it difficult for the public, also, you know, because it seems very suspicious. But even so, if an ICE agent is working undercover, when they're about to move on you or move on individuals, they're still going to have their credentials. They're just not going to come up as like a person with just a mask on in no form of identification. So, and they don't do that just so you can identify. They do it for their own safety as well. So they're going to be carrying credentials. You know, you might be suspicious of it, but as I said, pay attention to the things that and look for things that legitimate law enforcement officers should be carrying.
Unfortunately, they're not showing their identification. It would be nice if they did, but they're not adhering to this very policy. Mask on, mask off. Oh boy, we have a Trump fan in the chat. Hello, TNVOLS 5592. Welcome to the chat, love.
And as I said before, if it's one person by themselves, that's a definite red flag. Because as I said, for safety reasons alone, ICE agents aren't out there traveling alone.
And that's an important point you make there. I didn't think about that, but if they're by themselves, you know, you can definitely consider that a red flag. Like you said,
Exactly.
ICE agents will have backup. That's just what law enforcement, federal agents, local police, they all do. There's backup, especially if they're going to serve a warrant. Greg Dupree, TLAC Now, based in Dallas, Texas. We want to thank you for joining us and your valuable advice here on The Factor Uncensored. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, everybody, that pretty much does it for tonight's show. I hope that the information that you've gotten from this show. Wait, hold on just a second. People knew Trump was going after illegals. Why are people surprised and protesting? It's the manner of which they're doing it. That's why. It's not so much that they're going after illegals, but it's morphed into something more than that. All the brainwashed, hypocritical, delusional libtards are the problem, not ICE. Nobody on the left cared about ICE under Obama. That's right, because Obama was not shooting people in the head. That's why. We didn't have this problem under Obama. And he deported way more than any other president. And like I said, it's not what you're doing, it's the manner in which you're doing it. You're violating people's rights. Point blank, period. Okay, well, yep, they're in Arizona. Hello, nephew. How are you, sweetheart? Well, this is the end of the show, you guys. Thank you so much for coming this evening. Okay, babe, I'll see you later. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow, Lord willing. But in the meantime, take it easy, be safe out there, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. God bless you. Peace out.
Hey there, my kinfolk, thanks for stopping by. Auntie Mickey's house, where we reach for the sky. Every comment and smile, you make my heart glow. Together we're strong, together we grow. From gossip to politics, we cover it all. Sharing laughs and thoughts, having a ball. Your support means everything that I know. Feels like family here in this sweet show. So let's keep it flowing, keep the love alive. Every moment together makes me thrive. You're more than viewers, you're my kinfolk. You see, my gratitude runs deep as the sea. Thank you for being here, for sharing your time with each comment, with each rhyme. You're my kinfolk, my family, my crew. So much love to all of you. Turn up the camera, let's make it bright. Your support lifts me up, takes flight.